Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Being with Bella podcast. I really should start keeping track of the episode numbers because that'd be kind of cool to have a more. That'd be cool to know be able to say what number I'm on when I'm recording. But today I wanted to talk about a subject that probably will only apply to specific individuals because it does involve spirituality, it does involve religion, it does involve having that faith and having that trust that things are going to work out for you, even in those moments where you can't see how it's all going to play out. You don't know how it's all going to play out, but you know that you're on the right path and you know that things are starting to align for you the way that they're meant to align. And it can be very difficult sometimes because we tend to attach ourselves to things on the external. We attach ourselves to relationships, we attach ourselves to possessions, we attach ourselves to circumstances, and this makes it very, very difficult to trust in the divine timing of life because we are so focused on the fact that we can't see how it's all going to play out. We don't trust that it's all going to play out because we don't see how it's all going to play out, so we cling to the things that we have and the things that we do know out of the fear that we aren't going to receive the things that are aligned with us. And that is not to say that the things that we are clinging to in the current circumstance of our life, it is not to say, and this I want to emphasize, I think there is this narrative when it comes to spirituality and it comes to trusting in the universe and trusting in higher power. There is this narrative, this black and white narrative of you are clinging to something that is not meant for you, and so therefore that thing is bad, and that thing will never be meant for you, and that thing is just not yours. And I think this can apply to certain circumstances, but I think this is especially important when it comes to relationships. There are a lot of different circumstances that prevent us from being in a relationship with someone, and those do not always have to do with the specific person, and those do not necessarily mean it's the fault of the other person. When we are actively making a choice to not be with someone, regardless of why we are choosing to not be with them, we are the ones making that choice. And so putting the blame on that person, unless they cheated or did something really terrible to you, putting the blame on them and minimizing them as worth less than they are is not the way to go. The relationships that I've had in the past, I wish them all amazing things. I wish them all an amazing life. I know they're all amazing men who deserve the world, and just because I'm not with any of them right now does not mean that they are not enough or that they're not worthy of finding that love and connection. If they were beautiful connections and they taught me things about myself and they taught me things about love. And I think it's so important to take responsibility for your choices. If you are choosing not to be with someone, do not diminish the worth of another individual because you are actively making a choice to not be with them. For example, if you're choosing to not be with someone because they have a mental illness, you are the one who does not want to make the effort to support them as a partner in the relationship because mental illness is something that never fully goes away. So you are the one who doesn't want to make the effort to support them and be there for them and understand them. So that is you making that choice. That is not on them. And I think it's so important to realize that everyone, you guys, I might start crying right now. Everyone deserves to find their person. Everyone deserves to live a life that is aligned with them. And just because the timing doesn't work out for you with one person, first of all, it doesn't mean that you'll never be with them because sometimes things realign in the future. And second of all, it does not mean that you will never find your person, and that you will never find that alignment that you desire. You will not have to force what is meant for you. You will not have to cling so tight to what is meant for you. You will not have to force anything. It will fall into place naturally. And I think that's the beautiful thing about the universe is that it knows more than us. The universe and God, they know more than us. As humans, we get a little cocky and we like to think that we know more. We know more than the universe and we know more than God, and so we're going to force things. We're going to force things that aren't meant to be ours at that point in our life. We're going to do that because we don't trust. We don't have the trust and the faith that they know what's going to happen and they know how things are going to play out for us. And so that gets me to the main subject I want to discuss in this episode, which is essentially we have to sometimes blindly trust in the universe, in God, that things are going to play out just because we can't see how they're going to play out. You're allowed to trust your intuition without knowing what the outcome is going to be. You're allowed to intuitively make decisions and trust your choices without knowing what that choice is leading you to. Sometimes you have to make the choice to change certain circumstances in your life simply because you know that is not what the circumstances of your life are meant to be in this present moment, not necessarily because you know what the circumstances of your life will be in the future. It's simply only because you know that current circumstances of your life need to be different than what they are, and so you make that change. It has nothing to do with having your whole life planned out and knowing that this is going to happen and then this is going to happen and this is the order that everything's going to happen. How boring would that be to just know, yeah, this is when it's going to happen. This is the order that everything's going to happen for me. Like, this is what's going to happen next. This is what's going to happen next. That is the beauty of the unknown, is that we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know. And the more you cling on to things out of fear of not knowing that, the less fully you will live your life. You need to free yourself from your fears. You need to detach yourself from your external circumstances and realize having the interconnectedness within yourself is going to lead you to the circumstances that are truly aligned with you. And I want to emphasize that we are all just humans living our lives and navigating life on this planet, and there is no point on attaching to anything. The most beautiful outcomes occur when you are detached. The most beautiful outcomes occur when you surrender. You let people do what they're going to do. You let things be how they're going to be. You surrender to those circumstances and you focus in on what you can control and what you can change and what you know is best for you and most aligned with you in this moment. You don't have to know what is going to be most aligned with you in 10 years. You only need to know what is most aligned with you in this moment. Obviously, to some extent, yes, plan for the future, but also live a little, do what aligns with you. If what aligns with you is having a 5-year plan, then do that. But blindly trusting in the universe is the most loving thing you can do for yourself, because you teach yourself to live fearlessly. You teach yourself to make decisions knowing that you don't know what the outcome is going to be. You teach yourself to become resilient to changes and more adaptable to life changes. And that is a beautiful thing. That is an important life skill to have, in my opinion. We lean more towards what's comfortable. We lean more towards the known. We lean more towards the familiar. We lean more towards what we already know. It prevents us from feeling unsettled. It feels unsettling to lean towards the unknown. It feels unsettling to let go of the things we know and the things we trust and the things we love. It leaves us feeling unsettled, but it creates so many opportunities for growth and expansion into the beautiful humans we are meant to be. And I think that is such a beautiful thing. At the end of the day, life is what you make it, and you have to sometimes make those choices that are going to leave you temporarily unsettled. Because look at it this way: would you rather be settled, just be settled all the time, or would you rather be temporarily unsettled so you could be satiated? Would you rather be settled or satiated? Sometimes you have to temporarily be uncomfortable and be unsettled in order to reach that aligned life. So yeah, I hope that this episode got you thinking a little bit. I hope that you push yourself out of your comfort zone a little bit. As always, I really appreciate you taking the time to listen. And yeah, I love you so, so, so much. Have a great rest of your day slash evening slash afternoon slash dusk slash dawn. Mwah.